And we have Andrew Montford now joining me. Andrew, hello there. Can you hear me okay?
Good evening. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, thank you for bearing with me. So this, viewers, is Andrew Montford of Global Warming Policy Forum. Now, when you hear the conversation today that we are, potentially risking significant power outages, what do you think to that? They're saying that this is a result of the reliance upon electricity, obviously, the decarbonisation of society.
They're actually correct, but for the wrong reasons. They're correct that we do face very serious power cuts, and the reliance on electricity is a key factor in that, because if we switch away from gas central heating to electric heat pumps and from petrol cars to electric cars, then we are going to rely completely on electricity. Now, the Committee on Climate Change, who came out with their report today, said that the electricity supply is threatened by severe weather. And that's also true, but they're being a bit misleading, because they talk about floods and storms, which don't particularly affect the electricity system very much, because electricity is carried on high-level pylons, and high winds tend to blow through electricity wires, so it doesn't really affect them. The sort of extreme weather that does affect the electricity supply is actually low winds, because, of course, if we're getting all our electricity from wind farms, if we don't get the wind blowing, we have no electricity, because we have no way of storing electricity for when the wind isn't blowing. That's the risk. Now, back in May, we had essentially 3 consecutive weeks where essentially there was no wind. So in a net zero world where we don't have gas and we don't have petrol, that would mean no heating, no cooking, and no traveling.
So what's the solution then in your mind?
In my mind, I think we need to call a halt and start thinking about real technological solutions to this. In terms of decarbonising the electricity supply, you can go an awful long way with nuclear and with gas. The problem we have at the moment is that because we have all these wind farms, the gas that we have on the network is very inefficient. It's ramping, output is ramping up and down all the time, so it's very inefficient. If you actually ran your gas power stations flat out, they would give off a lot fewer emissions. And obviously nuclear is carbon free as well. We at the GWPF have done a study on how you might decarbonize the electricity system, and we think you could probably get to similar levels of decarbonisation to where we are now, but for billions and billions of pounds less money.
And have you guys, am I right in thinking you guys have also been speaking about electricity rationing, is that right?
Yeah, we have a study coming out later this week on electricity rationing. Essentially, if the wind doesn't blow, then the grid has to do something to try to eke the supplies out. Now, the way that they're trying to do this is through smart meters. Smart meters are sold to you as saving you money. The real reason you're getting a smart meter is so that they can put the price of electricity up during the evening peak to encourage you to switch things off. Particularly, they want you to switch off high usage things like electric car chargers and electric heat pumps. They don't want you heating your house in the evening. They don't want you charging your EV in the evening. But also, if it doesn't work, then they can switch you off. So that's where the rationing comes in.
Yeah, and what would you say about people that would disagree with you? You said a couple of things there, and there'll be people that disagree with you, whether it's on the smart meter point you just made there or beyond.
My report I sent to somebody in National Grid who was very complimentary about it and said, yes, if we don't have any form of electricity storage, it's going to be survival of the richest.
Survival of the richest. Andrew, my final question to you. In order to try and meet our net zero target, what in your mind do we need to be doing?
I think the net zero target is a huge mistake. So I think we don't want to be trying to do net zero. We don't have the technology to do it. It will be immensely damaging to our society, and particularly to the poorest in our society, if we try to do it. The cost of things like heat pumps is way, way beyond what we can afford. We're talking tens of thousands of pounds per household.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, all right. Purely for time reasons, Andrew, I must leave it there, but thank you very much for your time. That's Andrew Montford there of the Global Warming Policy